In 1920s America, $1 could open doors, but only certain doors for certain people. To understand its power, we must spend it slowly, street by street, counter by counter. At the grocery, $1 could feed a table, though never as generously as nostalgia suggests. Bread, potatoes, beans, and cabbage stretched far because working families learned to stretch everything. Yet rent swallowed dollars differently, turning a small coin into a monthly mountain for many tenants.
A $15 monthly rent meant $1 paid barely 2 nights of shelter.
Across town, richer Americans treated $1 as pocket money, not survival money. The same dollar changed meaning depending on whose hand carried it down the avenue. At lunch counters, $1 could buy a hot meal and still leave change. For workers, lunch was not leisure. It was fuel bought between whistles and time clocks. Even when prices looked low, wages decided whether low prices felt generous or cruel. A nickel streetcar fare made $1 worth 20 short rides across town. For city dwellers, transportation meant opportunity, distance, jobs, errands, and escape from cramped rooms. But the automobile was transforming the dollar into miles, speed, and private freedom. At roughly 30 cents a gallon, $1 bought about 3 gallons of gasoline. Those gallons could carry a Model T farther than many families had ever traveled. Yet millions still moved by foot, wagon, or necessity, not by gasoline-powered choice. After work, the dollar could buy not survival, but escape in flickering light. A movie ticket often cost less than a quarter, making fantasy surprisingly democratic. Inside, rich and poor briefly sat together, watching dreams neither could fully afford. The screen taught Americans to desire polish, and polish often began with a suit. But a decent men's suit cost many dollars, turning $1 into only a deposit. When new clothes were impossible, grooming offered cheaper dignity, sharpened by scissors and tonic. A haircut might cost a quarter or less, leaving confidence and coins behind. For men chasing work, appearance could decide whether $1 became opportunity. In cheap hotels, $1 might secure a narrow bed for one uncertain night. Such rooms were not luxury. They were pauses between trains, jobs, and disappointments. By nightfall, another America opened underground, where prohibition made dollars slippery and dangerous.
In speakeasies, $1 bought excitement, watered liquor, and the risk of a raid.
Some drinks cost 50 cents, making $1 vanish faster than a factory hour. Behind the glamour, illegal dollars fed gangs, bribes, fear, and sudden violence. A night's pleasure could become evidence, and pocket change could suddenly look incriminating. The decade judged money harshly in public, while spending it boldly in private. For children, $1 was measured in smells, from windows they could not enter. Day-old bread turned a poor woman's dollar into strategy, not simple purchase. Meanwhile, department stores taught middle-class Americans that spending could feel modern, elegant, even patriotic. A working woman's dollar could buy beauty, but also claim independence in public. Small purchases mattered because the decade sold identity in jars, fabrics, radios, and dreams. Big desires rarely cost dollar. They arrived through installments, signatures, and future worry. Credit made families feel richer today, while quietly spending tomorrow's dollars in advance. Every dollar had rivals: heat, food, rent, clothing, medicine, church, school, and debt. In winter, a dollar spent on heat could mean less food on plates. The comfort of one household often rested on another worker's exhausted back. Payday made the dollar feel powerful for minutes, before obligations surrounded it. For single workers, boarding houses turned wages into rent, meals, laundry, and little privacy. Board included food, but the price was routine, rules, and crowded respectability. In finer restaurants, $1 could disappear before dessert, service, or pride were satisfied. For the wealthy, dollars bought service, status, and the pleasure of not calculating. Even luxury dollars eventually reached workers, though rarely evenly, safely, or fairly. The city's same nickel fare carried millionaires' servants back to distant rented rooms. In rich homes, dollars paid invisible hands to make comfort appear effortless. Prosperity looked natural at tables. Nobody discussed the workers who prepared it. It was purchased comfort. But prosperity was uneven, and many households met the boom through want ads. A dollar helped little when the real shortage was steady work. When dollars ran out, possessions became temporary money behind pawnshop glass. A pawned watch could buy groceries, but also marked time lost to hardship. The 1920s sold optimism loudly, even to Americans walking home with borrowed cash. On Wall Street, dollars seemed to multiply, tempting clerks, bankers, and dreamers alike. Some Americans stopped asking what a dollar bought and asked what it might become. That question was thrilling because it made risk look like intelligence. Far from Wall Street, farmers often met the decade through falling prices and debt. On farms, $1 could feel precious because cash itself arrived irregularly. Catalogs made distant goods visible, but visibility was not affordability. Shop windows turned dollars into longing, showing everyone what only some could buy. The 1920s were roaring loudly, but not everyone stood inside the music. A dollar could buy warmth, food, travel, entertainment, or respectability, but rarely all together. Choice was the real luxury, and poverty meant choosing what to give up. Follow the dollar long enough, and it becomes a map of American life. It shows comfort, hunger, ambition, pleasure, shame, and the price of belonging. Then came the shadow many did not see, because the lights were still bright. When markets trembled, dollars that seemed magical became brutally ordinary again. For ordinary Americans, money's truth was never charts. It was food, rent, and work. $1 did not define America equally. It exposed who had choices. Its value lived not in metal, but in the unequal world surrounding it. So what did $1 buy in the 1920s? a glimpse of America itself.